I received call from Silvester, my old teacher. He spoke of the Smiths and Ian, a man dying not from illness but from a lost will to live. He asked me to help to carry on his legacy. But then he warned me about Ian's state, kept alive artificially, a scenario that sent a chill down my spine. Was this a cry for help or a trap? Then there was the white-suited man at the park, watching Cherry and me with an intensity that made my skin crawl. Solo was on the case, but the feeling of being hunted was suffocating. I had to protect Cherry no matter what, and now, this frantic call, a warning that my father, the man I thought I'd escaped, was planning something big, something aimed to destroy me. 2 urgent requests, one a plea for help, the other a warning of destruction. I'm on my way to golden sunshine, Cherry's future hanging in the balance, while the shadows of my past and the threats of my present close in. I think of Justin, struggling with his son's diagnosis, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. Can he truly provide the stability Pete needs, the emotional support that eludes him? Can he break the cycle of emotional detachment? And me? Can I secure Cherry's future, evade my father's machinations, and unravel the mystery of the Smiths, all while keeping my daughter safe? What is my father planning? And what are the Smiths truly after? And most importantly, can I trust anyone? I visited your father's place today, and I overheard him talking to someone on the phone. And? I asked. Lisa hesitated, then spoke. Nora, he was talking about destroying you. He said he'll get the money you owe him by hook or by crook. I remained silent for a moment then. Don't worry about it, Lisa. My voice was calm. I'll be careful. Thanks for telling me. After disconnecting the call, we pulled up to the grand entrance of Golden Sunshine School, slowing the car as he approached the gates. As he rolled down the window, a security guard immediately stepped forward with disinterest. Please park outside. Visitors aren't allowed to drive in. Melissa frowned. We're here for an interview. The guard simply pointed toward the designated visitor parking lot outside the gates. With a sharp exhale, Melissa turned the wheel and parked at an empty spot. I unbuckled Cherry's seatbelt, took her hand in mine, and stepped out. Just as we reached the entrance, a sleek Rolls-Royce Phantom stood up at the gates. Without hesitation, the guard stepped aside, waving the car through without a single question. From behind me, Melissa scoffed. Maybe we should have brought the Ferrari. Once we got inside the gates, we saw that the interior of the school was grand, almost like a 5-star hotel. Melissa scoffed, her arms crossed. I don't want to be rude, but this place isn't for kids like Cherry. You don't have to prove anything. I turned to her. It's not about proving anything. She needs the right environment to thrive. Lowering myself to Cherry's level, I met her wide eyes. If you can stay here for 3 months without revealing who you are or using any family influence, I said gently, I'll grant you one wish. Cherry's face lit up. Anything? I smiled. Anything, Melissa sighed, as if they'll even let her in. Melissa expected a grueling interview, but instead of a long drawn-out process, the principal simply handed me a neatly folded bundle. This is Cheryl's uniform. She can start tomorrow, he said with a warm smile. Melissa's mouth fell slightly open. Her eyes darted between me and the principal, confused. Wait, what? That's it? Her voice held pure disbelief. I accepted the uniform with an easy smile. Thank you, Principal. We appreciate it. I turned and walked out, holding Cherry's hand. Melissa, however, remained frozen in place. But what about the interview? The tests? The process? She struggled to make sense of it. The principal chuckled. Oh, they were exempted from the process. It's lengthy and would take weeks. We didn't want Miss Smith to go through all that. When we got the call from someone in corporate about Miss Smith, we had already started preparing the uniform. Melissa swallowed hard before quickly following us outside. The ride home was unusually quiet. Melissa just kept staring at me without saying anything. Once we reached home, we heard a strong, low-pitched voice coming from the living room. Why didn't you wait for me, Melissa? I was only an hour and a half late. I walked in with Cherry. Melissa followed. Melissa stood in the middle of the room. Across from her, Simon sat on the sofa. You need my help to get into a school like that, you know? Simon added. Melissa said lazily. Cherry was accepted without an interview. Simon's face hardened. That's impossible, he said sharply. Only the Hunts, the Smiths. Melissa cut him off. Doesn't matter. Cherry got in. Her classes start tomorrow. As I took Cherry's hand and started up the stairs, I heard Melissa mutter under her breath, "It must be Justin. He must have helped Nora." That night I was trying to sleep when my phone suddenly rang. I groaned, but the moment I saw the name flashing across it, my drowsiness faded. Justin Hunt. "Hello, Miss Smith." His voice was smooth. I rubbed my temple. "What's up?" A brief pause. "Your Aunt Melissa just called. She wants you to invite me to lunch, as a thank you for the recommendation letter." Of course. I should have known Melissa wouldn't let it go. I opened my mouth to protest, but before I could even get a word out, his amused chuckle came through the speaker. "So, when are you planning to invite me?" I shut my eyes briefly, realizing there was no point arguing. He wasn't going to drop this. "Might as well get it over with," I muttered. "Noon tomorrow?" A small hum of approval followed. "Okay." Then, after a pause, his voice lowered slightly. "About the recommendation letter. I didn't tell your aunt it wasn't me. Want to keep it that way?" "Yes, please." For a second, silence stretched between us, comfortable yet charged. Then I casually added, "And about lunch? You should bring your son, too." I could almost hear his hesitation. Then, noted. The next day, the Anderson mansion was quieter than usual. I was heading toward the door when Melissa intercepted me. "Did Cherry go to her first day at school?" I nodded. "Yeah, I dropped her off this morning." Melissa hesitated for a moment before continuing. "Okay. There's a dance party in a few days. You should come. Meet some people." "Sure," I muttered absently, but Melissa wasn't convinced. As the door shut behind me, I heard her murmur to herself, "What if she doesn't know how to dance?" From the couch, Simon said, "Then don't dance. Simple." "It's a dance party, Simon. I'll call Cheryl's dance teacher. At least she should learn the waltz." When I almost reached the location Justin sent me, a subtle smile tugged at my lips. I'm finally going to see my son today. When I reached the restaurant, I was taken to a private dining room. When I opened the door, my eyes immediately sought out the familiar figure I had been waiting for, a hopeful smile forming, until it abruptly vanished. Justin sat at the table with a coffee cup in hand. "No, Pete." My jaw clenched. "Where's your son, Mr. Hunt?" My voice was steady. The air in the private dining room thickened, a strange mix of disappointment and simmering anger coiling within me. Justin's eyes held mine, a flicker of something unreadable in their depths. A wave of frustration washed over me. He'd agreed. He'd noted it. Was this some kind of game? A test? Or was he simply toying with me, knowing how much I longed to see Pete? Why was Justin so evasive about Pete? What secrets was my father hiding? And what awaited me at the dance party?